David Savage, a.k.a. Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Welcome to the show. Let's get on with the Star Wars news. It's now about 89 days away. It's about 89 days away to Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. That's right, The Rise of Skywalker is about 89 days. Why is it about? Because technically, if you watch this video on any of the days available to watch it, I can only say about. But also that we have release dates different worldwide. Australia, America, everything. It's all different. But it's about 89 days away. The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Episode 9, it's coming. That's the first piece of Star Wars news. Let's get into more Star Wars news. Disney Plus. Now, a countdown for Disney Plus here in Australia. It is about 58 days away. 58 days to Disney Plus. That means The Mandalorian for Star Wars heads. It's going to be on the debut of Disney Plus. So it's about 58 days away for the Australian audience for Disney Plus. That's going to be a week after America and Canada gets it. So stick around for that. That's really closing in. Pretty much that's the news for this time around. Maybe the only other piece of news I can tell you is that Disney Plus on their website still haven't has access to being a member yet. I'm sure that's going to come closer to the countdown closure. And still, again, it's about 58 days away from the actual release, the launch of Disney Plus. So no subscription forms as yet on Disney Plus, but I'll keep you informed with that. Anyway, so that's the news. Let's get into views. Views is not the amount of one that gets on a YouTube channel, hence myself, but it is all about story ideas. It could be in a poster, a story idea in a poster. It could be a story idea in the saga itself. It could be a story idea in the spin-off films. It could be a cartoon. It could be music or whatever it is. It's about my view in how I would like to see it play out. It's not a prediction. It's just how I'd like to play out. This time around, and yes, Episode 9 is around the corner, The Rise of Skywalker. I would sort of like to see something happen with Rey in having a possible baby. Now, this does not mean I'm saying let's have Reylo happen. I'm not against Reylo happening, but I think it would be interesting as a continuation to future Star Wars films that the seed would begin at the end of the film with Rey having a baby for the future. This would be interesting. Whether she dies or stays alive at the end, the seed has been planted and would be interesting. It would be also interesting if Emperor Palpatine has anything to do with this. The having Rey having a baby. Not to say that he's going to create the baby with Rey, somehow manipulating the whole idea. That would be interesting. Sort of bringing a possible new evil person to embody via the Emperor Palpatine within this child in future episodes, or for the hope of the Jedi or rebellion or good people to go on. It would be interesting to have Rey have a baby towards the end of the film. I would put it in a way that life was starting to create. Like, I'm talking to the point of not even, you know, formation. I'm talking just sort of seeing life happen at the first point of life, at the end of film, of the end of the Rise of Skywalker, episode 9. It would be interesting to do this. Now, there's a lot of complications. There's a lot of, you know, story elements you'd have to really, you know, create around this, how you would do this, where you would do this, when you would do this. But it's my basic idea is I would like to see Rey have a baby, not exactly being Kylo Ren's baby, but it could be. I don't know. It would be more interesting to have the Emperor Palpatine manifest something to do with that baby, not being the boyfriend, because that would be seriously deranged. I mean, we sort of had to deal with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, you know, kissing that one time, so that was a bit unusual. But it would be just somehow, you know, manipulating her body from afar, from a forceful sort of evil force way, having a baby come into the end of the film. But the first moment of life, I'm talking the very first moment life is created, you know, in that first moment at the end of the film. But put in a way that it wouldn't be a to be continued ending part of the film, but it would just show how life just goes on. Something like this. It's a big thing here, even though it's so small what I'm actually talking about. But anyway, that's my view this time around, my story idea. Anyway, let's get into reviews. Reviews this time is about Jon Favreau, who is in charge of The Mandalorian, which is a part of Disney Plus, which is a streaming service. I've told many times, and probably a number of you out there know what Disney Plus is, but just for the people who don't know, Disney Plus is a new streaming service that's going to have everything Disney, not just Star Wars, not just Marvel, but other things like National Geographic, things like this. But The Mandalorian is the first live-action TV series. But Jon Favreau made comments during the week that he would love to be a part of Star Wars Holiday Special. Now, I'll tell you this. There's not many things I dislike about Star Wars. Like, there's things that we all cringe to. There's things that we go, I wish it was the other way, or this way, or whatever way. There's things we've got ideas for that never come to fruition. Big word there. But I think, look, I remember as a child, the Star Wars Holiday Special was the most depressing thing you could possibly ever have. It was sickening. I'm not against it. You know, I accept it for what it is, but God, it was... I actually remember my mum was attending to some sort of cleaning about the house. We were in her way or something like that. The TV was on. We were watching this special. Because it was Star Wars, was sort of like going, okay, but then it was just really... It had a sadness to it. It had a depressing sadness to it. Especially with the child Chewbacca, which I forget the name. I remember him flying this little aircraft around the Wookiee home. And I tell you what, it was just... I just don't remember much specifics to it because it was so depressing. But I really think having a Star Wars Holiday Special would only satisfy the people that just want to see it happen. There's no real reason to have a musical type of thing for Star Wars with the actual characters on TV. It's just... No, I just think this is a 0 out of 10 for me. In fact, if Star Wars were to become a musical, let's say the first one, the second one, the third one, the original, the prequels, the sequels, whatever, I'm not interested. I just don't want to see musicals with Star Wars. Star Wars does not need it. That's my opinion. 0 out of 10 for my review of having a Star Wars Holiday Special 2 with Jon Favreau or not. No. I love Jon Favreau's work. I love George Lucas's work. But I just don't want a Star Wars Holiday Special. That's my opinion. Hate me or love me for that. I don't know. That's my reviews for this time around. Let's get into interviews 2Q. That's 2 questions. Ask myself for you guys out there. Anyway, first question is, what are we going to do here in Australia and New Zealand when Disney Plus has been launched a week before we get it and The Mandalorian will be on the air? What should you do? Personally, hold on for that week. Do not even watch it. Just wait till it comes out 1 week later if you can hold on. But my other suggestion is don't even look at YouTube reviews, as it will be heavily either criticized or loved by whoever it is out there, and you'll just get a distorted feel and you'll lose the desire for it straight away. I just think those reviews coming out too early for other fans who have not seen it, like hardcore fans, just spoil the whole sort of thing. Hold on for that week, New Zealand and Australia, for Mandalorian to come out. We get it November 19. In America, November 12. That's my suggestion. That's the answer to the question. It's pretty simple, but I just thought I'd ask and answer that question. Now, my second question is, will The Mandalorian connect to Episode 9? So technically, The Mandalorian that's coming to Disney Plus, I've told you all this, The Mandalorian is actually set after Return of the Jedi, which is Episode 6. So it sort of is in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Episode 6 and Episode 7. Of course, we are going to get a lot of, callbacks to the originals, callbacks to the prequels, and I'm sure there's going to be some sort of written in genius. I'm sure they've planned it to the episode on the actual week it comes out, especially in the week of when Rise of Skywalker comes out, that something is unanswered until you see the Rise of Skywalker, and then you watch The Mandalorian the next week and there'll be a revelation. I wouldn't be surprised if something is planted in the episode before the Rise of Skywalker comes out, so then the reveal of whatever happens in The Mandalorian for the Rise of Skywalker is like amazing. That's what I would do. That's what I think should happen. And I'm sure there is something in the works for that. That would be an exciting connection. And so will The Mandalorian connect to Episode 9? I think it can, and I think it should. I don't know. I don't write The Mandalorian. I don't have any connections with the Lucasfilm or Disney, personally. So I can't tell you if it's a real thing or not. But I think there will be some sort of connection. I'm sure of it. It would be another missed opportunity on Disney not to do this. I'm not a Disney hater. I'm not a Kathleen Kennedy hater. I'm not a Rian Johnson hater. I just think it would be a missed opportunity. That would be a missed opportunity. I think the biggest missed opportunity at the moment, which was a big story idea by a lot of people out there, including myself, unaware that other people had the same idea. But when we saw The Force Awakens, and the missed opportunity was having Luke Skywalker pick up that lightsaber in the snow than Rey. But I do see the relevance to Rey picking that up. But I think it would have been such an amazing, powerful moment for Luke Skywalker to pick that up. It would have tore the house down. But Rey picking it up still rocked the joint. But to me, that was a missed opportunity in story writing. But as the story is unfolding, I accept it for what it is. But the missed opportunity I'm talking about right now is that if they don't connect something to 9 the week before and or the week after of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus network to when the Rise of Skywalker comes out, which is December 19 here in Australia. I think December 20 in America, it would be a missed opportunity if they don't do it. But I'm sure something's going to happen. Anyway, so that's my question and answer. That's my 2Q interview, two questions I asked myself for you guys out there. If you have any questions, just Instagram or Twitter, myself, the information is down there. Even YouTube, message myself, whatever you like. I'm here on a weekly basis with the Star Wars news, views, reviews, interviews, reviews, or news, all that ooze of the news. There's another one. So I'm here. Subscribe to the channel, The Force Always, only on YouTube. Like and share it with your friends. Repeat the video if you like to get more detail. Even just, still shots of myself if you want that. But yeah, until next time, my friends, keep rocking.